Pay the bills, and followers don't always mean sales. So, what you need is community, the kind that actually feels like they're connected to your message, trusts your voice, and buys your offer. In this live, I'm going to show you how to build a loyal and buying online community. Why? Because loyal and engaged don't always equal paid, but loyal and buying does. Right? So, this live is for the six-figure coach where you already have an audience on social media, but you're not sure how you can convert them. So if you already have 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers, 10,000 followers and beyond, they have been engaging with you, but you're not sure how you can convert them into customers, then this live is for you. This live is also for the ambitious business owner where you're stuck between 8 to 10K months. So you've been trying to scale to 20K months, 30K months and beyond, but it has been difficult. No matter what you have done, you've tried running ads, you've tried going live, you've tried posting the content, and you're just noticing that you're not scaling, then this live is for you. I want to show you how you can sell in your videos, build that loyal and buying online community so that now when your audience is engaging with you, the engagement is leading to payment, right? So that's who this live is for. If you're coming in here right now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab your notebook and grab your pen, take note, take action, make some money, honey. Why? Because action takers are money makers, not time wasters. We're going to be together today for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to be dropping 3 tips on how you can build a loyal and buying online community, especially for those of you who are business owners, where what you desire is an audience who buys from you. An audience where every time you have a launch, they're actually buying, an audience that each time you post, they're engaging with you, they're inspired by you, but just not just inspired because of the words that are coming out of your mouth, also inspired because of the offers that you have. So if you're on here, you're using social media for your marketing tool. It's a free marketing tool. What do I mean by that? I mean that you don't have to pay for ads. Right? Some of you were paying for Facebook ads, you were paying for TikTok ads, YouTube ads, and you're not seeing the return on your investment that you would like. Well, what I show you is how to use your organic content. So no money invested into your content that you're creating, so that now when you're putting out the content, you're converting your followers into customers. So I want to shout out all my business owners right now. As you're joining right now, if you have a business, drop the name of your business in the chat so I can shout you out. We have a couple of you coming in on TikTok, a couple of people on Instagram, a couple of people on YouTube and LinkedIn, right? So if you have a business, drop the name of your business in the chat so I can shout you out. You never know who's in need of your services. You never know who's watching right now. They see you drop the name of your business in the chat, and then they start following you, they start engaging with you, and then they buy from you. I've shouted out business owners in here, and guess what? They've gotten leads just because they got visibility. Some of you, the issue isn't your offer. You have a great offer. You have a great service that you're selling. The issue is that not enough people are seeing you. Hey, Kauai, how you doing? Yes, Kauai Photography is in the building, right? So some of you, just not enough people are seeing you yet. And because of that, guess what? You're not getting paid. And this is a mindset that I like to give all of my audience, all of my clients, right? So I want you to get this in your soul, get this in your bones. When people see me, they pay me. Okay? Can somebody write that in the chat? When people see me, they pay me. So that means that if you want to get paid more money, more people got to see you. If you're not getting paid the money that you deserve, that means not enough people are seeing you. Some of you right now, you're only getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and you want to know how you can take that to the next level. That's what this live is about. This live is about turning your social media into a lead generating and revenue generating source for your business. Not the only source, this is an additional source to your business, right? All right, so it looks like we don't have any business owners in the building. Well, I know Acquired Photography is in the building, but it looks like nobody else is a business owner in the building. So that means that none of you need help with your social media. That means everyone who's tuning in right now, you're probably a mom, you're probably a dad, you just like the way I look, you just like the information that I'm sharing, and that's cool too, right? But this live is for business owners, so you can feel free to stick around if you're not a business owner. But this live is for business owners who are looking to convert your followers into customers. You want to build an online platform that opens up doors for you, right? And so that's what I'm here to help you with. I'm going to be teaching you how to build a loyal and buying online community. As I'm teaching, right? I like to teach all of my lives like they're master classes. That's on purpose. I do that on purpose, right? Why? Because I can see you. I can see you on social media posting your content is getting some traction one day, no traction the next day. It's constantly up and down, and it's frustrating, especially because you know that your business can transform lives. You know that the offer that you have created, it can actually help someone, but not enough people are seeing it. And some of you are thinking to yourself, it's because the algorithm is blocking me. Who am I talking to right now? Hey, Kwanda. Who am I talking to right now when you're feeling like the algorithm is blocking me? That's the reason why they're not putting my content out, right? Some of you are thinking to yourself, oh, it's because I'm too old for social media. Thank you. Thank you, Kwanda. Right? Some of you are thinking it's because I'm too old for social media, right? Who am I talking to right now where these thoughts are going through your head? Well, I want to tell you right now, it's not because of your age. It's not because of the algorithm. Sometimes it's because of the content that you're putting out, and it's the audience that you're reaching. Some of you are just putting out the content, you're growing your following, but they are not a buying audience. Have you ever heard of those influencers where they grow their following so largely and then they try to sell to their audience and it's crickets, right? So the goal is to shift so that now you're building a loyal and buying online community so that each time you release your offer, you have someone to sell to, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to teach you today, how to build a loyal and buying online community. Thank you so much for double tapping on the screen. As you are coming in, double tap on the screen. You can also drop your comments in the chat. The more you engage with this live, the more TikTok will push it out, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube will push it out. So don't hoard the information to yourself. Hit the share button at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Invite 20 people to this live. Share it on your story so that other people can come in. Why? Because I'm not going to gatekeep. I don't gatekeep. I like to share the information. I like to make sure that you're getting the transformation. Why? Because I already recognize that whatever I'm sharing with you, once you put it into action, you're going to see transformation. Why? Because action takers are money makers, not time wasters. There are some of you where you've been following this guru after that guru after that guru, and you have all the information in your head, but you haven't taken action yet. And that's why you're not seeing the results yet, right? So we want to shift that. The results only come after you are taking action. So who am I? I'm Shamar Star Cox, TV producer and marketing coach. My goal is to help 6 and 7 figure business owners get seen and get paid by creating binge-worthy videos on social media so that now you're scaling your business to the next level and you're having more opportunities for speaking engagements and being invited to high-profile podcasts. And again, today we're going to be talking about how to build a loyal and buying online community. And I want to share this story before I go into this actual tip. If you are a business owner, feel free to drop the name of your business in the chat and I will go ahead and shout you out. If not, we'll just move right on. That's okay, right? So as I said before, I'm a TV producer. And I remember when I was trying to break into the television industry, it was not easy, okay? I done went to college. I did everything they told me to do, they by society, right? I did everything they told me to do. They said, go to high school, go to school, get good grades. I did that. Go to college. If you go to college, you'll be able to land your dream job. You'll be able to make a lot of money and you'll be secure. I did that. Only thing is, when I graduated from college, I did not land a dream job. Actually, it was hard to land a job altogether. Can anyone else relate? Like you did the things that society told you to do. You went to college, and some of you right now, whatever college degree you got, you're not even in your field. You're not even using the college degree, right? So this is where I was, graduated from college, could not find a job in my field for nothing. Couldn't find a job, period, actually. I did graduate at the height of the recession, too. So this was back in 2009. And so when I finally did get a job, it was a job at a nonprofit organization. I was the intern to the executive assistant of the CEO. And what they were paying me was the same amount of money that they were paying high school students. Like, how insulting, right? Who am I talking to where you can relate, where you went to college, right? You did all the things they told you to do. You went to college and then you weren't able to get a job in your field, or it was just difficult to find a job, right? That's where I was. So that was actually my story. It was always hard to find a job, couldn't get one in my field. I interned for free at television companies and news stations. Like I interned for free. They wouldn't even hire me after the internship. I mean, after a while, I started thinking it was me, right? But anyway, I started working at this staffing agency. And while I was working there, that's when I really started fasting. Because I'm like, Lord, I need you to open a door for me. Because clearly setting out my resume isn't working, networking isn't working. I'm like, I need you to open a door for me. And it was absolutely frustrating. I remember just being in that, working at this nonprofit, because not nonprofit, working at the staffing agency wasn't in my field. I remember everyone in there, they were creatives that couldn't get a job in their field. So it was like they settled. And I can feel myself settling too. And I'm like, no, I don't want to settle. Anyone ever been there before? You have this dream in your heart. Like you should be doing more. But because the doors aren't opening, you're thinking to yourself, man, this is the best that it could get. So that's where I was. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to fast my way through this. And I remember that's how I ended up developing my fasting habit. I was fasting every day. I was crying to God. I was praying to God. I was on these trains just crying, open a door for me, open a door for me. And then finally, I got an interview at a television network, a major television network, right? And I interviewed with 3 executive producers. And these producers absolutely loved me. They loved everything that I was sharing, right? And I fell in love with them. And I'm thinking to myself, I nailed this interview. Like we are good to go. And do you know what happened next? They offered the job to someone else. They offered the job to someone else. I was like, oh, but they told me this. They said, keep in touch. And so I followed up for an entire year. I reached out to them during the holidays. I followed up whenever they were in the news. And 1 full year later, they hired me for a higher position. You want to know why? Because I was top of mind. My question to you is, are you top of mind? When you are putting out your content, are people thinking about you? Or are they going to your page and forgetting about you after they leave? Because if you are using social media as your marketing tool, if you are putting out content, but people are forgetting you, then you're not top of mind. And that's the reason why it's difficult to sell on social media. That's the reason why maybe you're thriving through word of mouth and referrals, but when it comes to putting out your video content, it's a snooze fest. People aren't returning to watch more. They're not engaging with you. Your views are stuck between 2 and 300. And no matter what you do, it just feels like a heavy lift and a pull. And that is because your content isn't top of mind. But the thing is, you can shift it. You can shift it. There are many of you who are watching right now. You weren't called to be silent. You weren't called to play small. And you weren't called to be behind the scenes. You were called to be seen. But how are they going to see you if your content isn't standing out to them? If your content isn't top of mind? That's where we help you to shift. I want you to imagine this. Imagine your dream clients finding you on social media, not just through referrals, not just through word of mouth, right? But they're finding you on social media each day, and they're actually leaving comments that say, hey, how can I buy from you? How can I work with you? Where's the link so I can actually purchase? Imagine that. This is not about replacing what's working. It's about a powerful stream of consistent leads to your business. Social media allows you to reach an audience you haven't yet tapped into without taking the focus off of your business, right? Without taking the focus off of your current success. So some of you right now, you're getting the sales. They're coming through word of mouth. They're coming through referrals. However, you want to add another stream. And social media allows you to do that. But as you're posting, you're not seeing the reach that you want to see. So how can we shift that? If you're in here and you're like, I want to be able to shift that. I want to be able to help more people. Because some of you, you've gotten to a point in your business where you're ready to go to the next level in your business, right? And that next level could be bigger opportunities. It could be more speaking engagements. It could be bigger podcasts, right? More people should be seeing your content. You shouldn't be hiding behind You shouldn't be hiding behind the fact that, oh my goodness, the algorithm isn't pushing my content. You shouldn't be hiding behind the fact that I don't know what to post in my videos. So I want to help you to get unstuck. And by doing that, I want to invite you to join us in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. In the challenge, we show you how to create content that sells in 5 days or less. Now, here's the best thing. In the challenge, we show you how to show up authentically in your videos so that your audience will be attracted to you. So that now when they're watching your videos, they actually are commenting, how can I buy from you? And they're engaging with you because what you have created, your offer, your service, what you have created is to transform their lives. It's to help them heal. For some of you, if you're a relationship coach, it's to help people have better relationships with themselves, with their family, to find a spouse, to have better relationship with God. If you're a fitness coach, helping people to be able to lose the weight and keep the weight off so they can feel happy in their skin. Some of you are service providers in the sense that you own a spa and you want to be able to fill up your spa each month. Some of you, you're doing hair, right? Some of you are business coaches and your goal is to help people create wealth and build generational wealth. The only thing is they're not hearing about you yet. They haven't found you yet. Your content is not going beyond your mama and your spouse. Your content is not going beyond your best friend who's just supporting you. So how can we help you to get your content to push, to get out there? We can help you do that in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. So if you want to get access, you want to join us, click the first link in my bio and join us for the VIP experience so that we can help you. All right, so we're going to go into 3 tips, right? This is 3 tips on how to build a loyal and buying online community. So if you're on here now and you have a business, you have been posting content, but it's not really reaching anyone, I want to show you what you can do that can actually shift. And if you're in here and you're feeling this or you have any questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat below and share this live out and double tap on the screen so that more people can see this live. If this live doesn't get pushed, then I know that this is not a topic that y'all care to cover and I won't cover it again, right? So that's on Instagram, that's on TikTok, that's on LinkedIn and YouTube. All right, so let's get into this, right? So I'm going to give you 3 S's to help you build a loyal and buying online community. 3 S's. The first S is speak your ideal customer's language. The second S is silence the inner critic. And the third S is to tell strategic stories, right? So the first S is to speak your dream customer's language. The second S is to silence the inner critic. And the third S is to tell strategic stories, right? So let's get into the first S. If you are taking notes, this is where you want to start writing down some of the notes. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop questions in the chat about your brand, about your business, because although I like teaching these lives like they are masterclasses, I also want to make sure that I'm helping you. There are some of you in here where you have been posting content on social media and it's just absolutely frustrating because you're not seeing the results that you want to see. Whether it's on LinkedIn, you're putting out your LinkedIn content and people aren't commenting on your posts. You're putting out your TikTok videos and your views are just, they're below 100. And it's like, no matter what you do, you can't seem to get it up. I want to show you how you can shift it. And some of you, your issue isn't views and it's not engagement. Some of you, your issue is actually getting people to buy from you. So you have the audience, right? They're already engaged, but whenever you make the offer, they're not actually opting in, or you keep receiving comments that says, I can't afford, right? Or that's too expensive. And I actually want to give you a shift if you keep receiving comments like that, right? So, I want to do a quick poll. I know we got like 4 people on TikTok. We got 1 person on YouTube. Let's do a quick poll real quick, right? And so I want to know from you, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to social media marketing, right? You could drop A in the chat if it's content creation, drop B in the chat if it's content conversion, or drop C in the chat if it's you being consistent, right? So what's your biggest struggle with social media marketing? A, content creation, B, content conversion, or C, you being consistent, right? So let me see some A's, B's, or C's in the chat, and that will let me know what we can focus on this live, right? Okay, so I see B, content conversions. Okay, that's a big one. Okay, Brittany says A, B, and C. Got it. Hey, Dad, how you doing? Hey, Yolanda, how you doing? Right? Okay, so we got ABC, brown skin thing says and laughs. Okay, Instagram, if you are with us, let us know. ABC, which one it is. Um, DEFG, come on, Dad, that is hilarious. Awesome. Okay, and then if you're on here from YouTube or LinkedIn, let us know what it is. Okay, so it's looking like it's all three: content creation, content conversion, and you're being consistent. Hey, Dr. Sasha, how you doing? Dad, I miss you. I keep saying I'm gonna call you, and then I keep running into all this work, but that's no excuse. I have to give you a call, right? Okay, so A, B, and C. So let's fix all three. So you're saying it's all three: content creation, content conversion, and you being consistent. So let's do content creation and content conversion at the same time, right? So that's what we're going to do. Here's the first one. As I said, I'm giving you 3 S's to build a loyal and buying community. In order for you to do that, you've got to be able to create content that people want to watch. And then you also got to be able to create content that people want to buy. Right? So here's the first one: speak your dream customer's language. Speak your dream customer's language. The biggest reasons I see some business owners failing on social media is because you're putting out the content that speaks to no one. When it comes to speaking your dream customer's language, you have to speak directly to them, right? So, what is their pain? What are they struggling with? And what do they desire? So, for those of you who said your biggest issue was content creation and content conversion, I actually want you to write inside the chat, who is your dream customer, right? Now, let me caution you. If you are about to write, my dream customer are women between the ages of 40 and 50, that is the issue, because it is extremely hard to create content that speaks to those people because it's too vague. Like, could you imagine someone, actually, this really did happen. I was watching a YouTube video and an ad popped up, and he said, if you are a Christian between the ages of 70 and 80, and I was like, oh, that's horrible marketing. Why is that horrible marketing? Because you're speaking to an age group as opposed to their pain. And one of the first things when it comes to marketing, and I learned this from Jesus. So some of you, you're about to get some Bible marketing secrets. Some of you know that I teach this. Some of you don't, but welcome, right? I teach Bible marketing secrets. Why? Because I've seen Jesus build a loyal and engaged following, and he was able to convert them, and he's still converting them today, even though he ascended to heaven, right? So one of the first things he did was he called his people by pain. He called them by pain, right? He said, come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, for I will give you rest. He didn't say, come to me, all who are between the ages of 70 and 80, all who are between the ages of 25 and 50. And oftentimes when we're creating our dream customer persona, we want to focus on the demographics. That's nice and all. But the reality is, when you're on social media, calling people by their age is just weird, very weird, right? That's like, okay, yeah, if you are at the age of 40, I can help you with relationships. But if you call them by pain, which is something like, well, if you're someone where you have been on every dating site, you've done eHarmony, you've done Hinge, and no matter what, the conversations keep falling flat within the first 30 days, I can help you. Do you see how that speaks directly to the person's pain, the exact situation that they're in? So that now when you say it, they're like, oh, you're talking to me. And that's the goal. When you're putting out your content, you want your audience to say that you're talking to me. You're in my head. You're in my head. That's how you know you got them, right? Okay, so I see Brittany Nicole. She said, women with low self-esteem. Okay, so what do you help them with? Because we need a little bit more. Because women with low self-esteem is good, but we can make it so much better. So what do you help them with, Brittany? Right? And then anyone else, you can feel free to drop your dream client in the chat. Like, who is your dream client? So we can know who you're talking to. Future Mrs. First of all, I love your name, but I'm happy that you said that that's good and this is helping. Awesome. Right? And if you're on Instagram, you can feel free to drop your dream client in the chat as well, so that I can help you with who you're speaking to. And so you can see this is why they aren't coming, because you're not actually speaking to them. The goal is to put out content where they hear their pain and now they come to you, right? This is the first step in speaking their language, So as I'm waiting for Brittany Nicole to give us some more details about her dream client, or anybody else to write in the chat, I want to share this, right? So as I said before, Jesus, he called his people by pain. And so I started teaching my audience how to call their people by pain, how to speak their language. And when they did that, here's what happened. Lori, who's a fitness entrepreneur, she was on social media. And what she does is she helps men and women get in shape so that they do not have to die young like her father did. That's her goal. She helps them get in shape. They eat better. They don't have to die from diabetes. She shows them how to stay fit. That's her goal. However, before she joined the challenge, she was putting out content that was barely reaching anyone, right? Like they were liking it, but they weren't really engaging. And what she wanted was to get sales, right? So if you're in here, you're like, I want to get sales from my content, then listen to what Lori did in order to get sales. When she joined the challenge, I told her, hey, you need to speak directly to your dream audience because your videos right now is not calling them by pain. And so she went in and she spoke to them. Not only did she speak to them, she told a story on how her father died young from diabetes because of the way that he was eating and the way that he wasn't working out, and that she was headed down the same track. And she had to stop. She had to break the generational curse because that's what it was. She had to stop herself in her tracks and say, I don't have to die young. Let me tell you, she put out that video. She got 3 leads. She got 3 leads. Let's clap it up for Lori. And now, like today, I be seeing her on TikTok. She goes live with her audience. I think she goes live at like 6 o'clock in the morning. She's doing different workouts with them. She's getting sales, all because she made that one tweak, that one shift, right? All right, so that was Lori. Let's see. I see Brittany wrote inside the chat. She says, I help women to get out of their way by helping them rebuild their identity to reach the life. Again, and break generational curses. Okay, so it's still a bit vague. So let's go a little bit deeper, right? So Brittany Nicole, she helps women with low self-esteem get out of their way by helping them rebuild their identity to reach the life, right? So a couple of things, right? Why do they have this low self-esteem? Is it because of childhood trauma? Is it because they were in an abusive relationship? Is it because, they suffer from rejection, right? You can use either one of these 3 and actually call them by that, right? Because low self-esteem, like, yeah, people may hear that. But if you actually said something like, I help women who are suffering from rejection due to childhood trauma of being ignored by their parents. Do you see how like that goes directly into their situation? And it's like, oh my goodness, I actually did experience that, as opposed to low self-esteem. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with low self-esteem. We just want to make it better by going deeper so that when they hear it, they're like, that's exactly what I went through. We don't want them guessing. We don't want them thinking like, do I have low self-esteem or do I not? The other thing is you may also, when you shift it to they're suffering from rejection due to childhood trauma, that you may also call people who are high performers and they don't have low self-esteem, but they still have this trauma. And now you're helping them to break free, right? So it's just really going deeper on what exactly are they experiencing so I can call that out. Let's see. Hey, Tashai, how you doing, honey? Okay. Pinky Trail says, generating sales from digital marketing as an extra stream of income for financial freedom. Awesome. Who is the person? Who are you helping? Who are you helping? And let me see if there's any on Instagram. Okay, none on Instagram, none on YouTube or LinkedIn. Who's your dream client? Brittany Nicole says all. Okay, good. So all of them. So you can actually use all 3. And I would test to see which ones work with my audience. So what did we say? We said rejection from childhood trauma or abusive relationship. Now I'm going to tell you, I want to just give you a caution, Brittany Nicole. I probably wouldn't talk to people who are in an abusive relationship. It's going to be a lot harder for them to convert because in their minds, they're not ready to leave yet. Right? Now, if they have already left and they want to go through healing, again, that still may be a little bit more difficult because at that time they need some therapy, right? So the goal is when you're on social media is to talk to ready to buy buyers. That's for everyone. Ready to buy buyers. If you're talking to people who are not ready to buy, that's why you're working twice as hard or 3 times as hard putting out content because you have to make them aware of the problem. And then you have to help them to make the buying decision, right? That's going to take twice as long. So you want to talk to the people where they're already doing the work and what they're missing is one step to get to where they want, right? So for you, Brittany Nicole, you may want to be talking to people where they're struggling to get promotions at work, right? Due to this rejection, due to this childhood trauma. And if they can just break free from this generational curse, then they can get the promotions that they want. Now, of course, I'm being specific, but that's not the only thing, because you may be talking to people where they want to have better relationships, right? So it really is just getting specific. Who are these people? What is their pain? How can I help them? We want to paint clear images in their head so that when you are speaking, people will hear it and they will go, ah, she's talking to me. That's what we want. We don't want people ignoring it because it's too generic and it's too general, right? Okay, Brittany says, no, when I say all, I mean childhood trauma, low self-esteem, etc., just sick and tired of the same. Okay, awesome. So it sounds like your dream clients, these are women who are in a consistent cycle of failure, or consistent every time they try to succeed in their life, they find themselves back in the same spot. Or these are women who every night they are crying, wondering why their life isn't turned around yet. They have been believing, they have been praying for a change, for a solution, and they just find themselves in the same cycle over and over again, right? That's a lot clear. Yeah, Brittany said, yes, that's clear. I know women like that, by the way, right? And so now you're telling them, here's why. It's due to this childhood trauma. It's due to this. Your low self-esteem comes from rejection, right? And when you start speaking into their situations, they're like, oh my goodness, you're right. You're right. So calling them by pain. Now, here's the other thing. I'm going to just give you this final tip because I do this with my clients all the time. I typically take this information and I drop it in ChatGPT, and I tell ChatGPT to give me the pain points, but I don't stop at the pain points. I say, Chat, give me the exact situations that they're in. You start getting the exact situations that they're in. You start speaking to that. You'll start converting. That's how you create content that people will not forget. That's how you create content where you are now top of mind, right? Okay, Pinky Trail says, my target audience are stay-at-home moms or single mothers. Okay, let me scroll back up to see. And you're helping them to generate sales from digital marketing as an extra stream of income for financial freedom. Okay, this is good. Oh, thanks, Kwanda. This is good. You're almost there, Pinky Trail. You're almost there. We want to go a little bit deeper, right? So these are single moms. I don't know how much your offer is. I can imagine that your offer is like $300, or like maybe you're telling them that you can help them make $300 a day. Like, are you doing one of those MRRs, master resale rights, where like they purchase the digital course and like everything's already done for them and all they have to do is just sell it? Right? Like if you're doing one of those, I tend to get I tend to get a lot of people who are doing that, right? So here's the thing. You can talk to stay-at-home moms, you can talk to single mothers, but you want to go a little bit deeper into what their pain is, right? Because a stay-at-home mom could be a real housewife of Atlanta, a real housewife of New Jersey, and in their minds, I don't need to generate extra income because I's good. Okay. Like, I don't got to take this. My man works 2 jobs kind of woman, right? And you probably don't want to talk to that woman, being the fact that they don't need it. So are we talking about stay-at-home moms who want to make additional money on the side, or single moms? Now, here's the tough part. You want to talk to a specific single mom. Because if you're talking to single moms who are struggling in their finances, chances are they're not going to have the money or the time to invest. So you may want to talk to the single mother who's an executive, the single mother who's a middle manager, the single mother who's seeking an extra stream of income. This is important because if you talk to the mom who is struggling, they're not going to buy. And again, we want to talk to ready to buy buyers. So people who are already looking for your services. So they're not just single moms. They're not just stay-at-home moms. They're already looking for their next stream of income. And we want to be super clear on that. They're looking for their next stream of income that is a low lift. That's it. So you're a single mom, you're a stay-at-home mom, you have been successful in your career, but you recognize that as you're getting ready, as you're getting closer to retirement age, it's extremely hard to retire on what you have saved. So I want to show you how you can create additional streams of income By just showing up each day on social media or just by selling this course, you can make $300 a day. And at that point, it's like, yeah, that's me. That's exactly what I want, right? So it's just going deeper, speaking directly to the pain that they have. Because if we don't talk directly to the pain, they ain't gonna buy. And if the pain is too far into the future, they're definitely not gonna buy, right? Okay, Brittany says, yes, I'm trying to help them to identify why the same things keep showing up. Awesome, awesome, right? So I have a client, I was working with him yesterday, and he was telling me the pain points of his dream clients, right? And we had to go deeper into each pain point. Some of the pain points, they didn't even know that they had the problem. So some of you right now, you're on social media, you're calling out pain points, but your dream client doesn't even know that they have this problem. Again, it's going to be extremely hard for them to convert because you're talking to a problem that is far away into the future, or they're just not aware of it. We want to talk about what they're going through right now. Why is this? Because when it comes to people paying for things, especially high ticket, who in here is selling high ticket? Drop a me in the chat, right? I raise my hand because I sell high ticket. I don't like selling low ticket. So if you're selling high ticket, so high ticket is anything that is $1,000 or more. Drop a me in the chat. If you're selling low ticket, that's totally fine. But if you're selling high ticket, I just want to do a quick poll and see who's selling it. But if you're selling high ticket, when it comes, okay, Brittany says I do both. When it comes to selling high ticket, anything over $1,000, that becomes an emotional decision. It's not logical. It's emotional, right? There has to be an emotional connection to the outcome that they're going to get or the transformation that they're going to get in order for them to buy. And so if you keep talking to their head and you keep talking to a problem that they don't even know that they have, they're not going to buy. Hey, Boss Moves, how you doing? Right? So you want to help to make the emotional connection. That's why I'm helping you speak directly into their pain, the exact situation that they're in. So that now when they hear it, they're like, yeah. But here's the best part. You don't leave them in the pain. You give them hope that there's another way. When Jesus showed up on the scene, a lot of his people, they were broke, busted, and disgusted. They were in pain. They were suffering. They were being heavily taxed. Please, that kind of sounds like us in America right now, right? And he comes in and he says, there's another way. You don't have to keep living life this way. And I want to show you the way. That's what your content does. Your content shows them the way. But if you don't call them by pain, they are going to go in a different direction because they don't even know that that's what they're experiencing, right? So if you're in here and you're like, I need more of this, like this is why my content wasn't converting. This is why it's been difficult to create content. But now I want to know how I can shift this. How can I get more of this so I can go deeper with my audience and actually convert? Then I want to encourage you to join us in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. In the VIP experience, this is exactly what we do. See, right now I'm only able to do it live based on the information that I'm getting. But in the VIP experience, we're actually going to enjoy 5 days together. And during those 5 days, not only are we going deeper into who your dream client is, but we're identifying what your messaging is so you can speak to them. We did this with Marianne. She joined us for the VIP experience, right? And Marianne, she sells a digital product too. She does MRR as well. And this wasn't her first business. This is probably like her second or third business. Marianne's in her 60s, by the way. So for some of you who are like, TikTok is only for the young folks. Social media is only for the young folks. I'm too old for this. I'm going to bust that myth right now. Marianne is in her 60s. She uses TikTok to attract her dream clients, right? And when she joined the challenge, we helped her with her messaging. She needed to know, what do I say to my audience to get them to buy? And that's where some of you are here. You don't know what to say in your videos to get your audience to buy. And so we showed her, like, this is what you want to say. Well, let me tell you this. The first day of the challenge, she got 5 leads. Come on now. How would that benefit your business if in one day, one tip that we gave you helped you got 5 leads? What would you do with 5 leads if you were able to get 5 leads today? What would you do with them? Would that help your business? Right? Some of you are like, 5 leads? I can't even get 1 lead. So I want you to write that in chat. What would 5 more leads do for your business? So she got 5 leads in one day. The next day, she got 3 leads. So that's 8 leads in 2 days. The third day, she got another 5 leads. That's 13 leads in 3 days. If we helped you get 13 leads in 3 days, well, some of you won't be 3 days, right? Again, as I said, Marianne was in business already. She just needed the tweaks. But if we helped you get 13 leads, what would that do for your business? Does that mean that you'll be able to convert them? Yeah, Brittany says, yes, consistency. If we helped you get 13 leads, would you be able to convert them? Does that mean you get to pay your staff? Does that mean you get to go on vacation? Does that mean your product actually works? Your service actually works? What would that mean for you? See, for Marianne, that means that she's now helping 13 more people be able to retire and actually have money in their bank account. So for Marianne, that was an impact thing, right? For Christina, Christina's one of my other former clients. When we helped her, she got 30 leads in one day when she joined the challenge. 30 leads. And you know what that helped her do? That helped her to book her trip. Where did she want to go? She wanted to go to Bali. She said, Star, my goal is to go to Bali. And she used her business to help her go to Bali. So for her, she booked her trip when she got those 30 leads. Yeah, Brittany says the service actually works and impact. Absolutely. There are some of you in here now where what you truly desire is impact. Like you started your business to create generational wealth. Who am I talking to? Just drop a me in the chat. You started your business to leave a financial legacy for your family. You started your business to make an impact, to help people heal. Because what you went through was so traumatic, but you were able to make it. And now you know that you can help others overcome too. So you want to help them heal. Some of you started your business because you had a dream. And that dream was you being on stages and talking to thousands of people. You just don't know how to get there yet. Who am I talking to right now? Yeah, Brittany says, I started mine to help people heal. Right? And so that's the goal. When people are actually seeing you now, you can do that. I know there's some of you, you're not writing in the chat yet. You're probably like driving or at work, so you can't write in the chat yet. But some of you, you were called to make an impact. And you keep telling it to yourself, I'm called to make an impact. But I want to encourage you. How many people do you want to impact? And by when? Because you're making an impact right now just by showing up. But if you say something like, I want to make an impact, 30 women in 30 days, 300 men in 6 months, right? I met someone where they want to reach 3 million people by the end of the year. Or I think it was, 3 million people by the end of the year. Put a number on it. Don't just stop at, I want to make an impact. Because what happens is when you don't have a clear goal, it makes it hard to walk past it. It makes it hard to walk towards it. And that's where some of you are right now. You've been telling yourself, I want to make an impact for the last couple of years. You've been telling yourself, I'm going to use social media to get more leads for the last couple of years. But you keep falling back on what already works. The referrals, the word of mouth. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that going to the next level requires stepping outside your comfort zone and actually putting work into another system so that it can work for you. There have been many business owners who were able to build their business online and make it so successful that they're getting invited to speaking engagements. People want to know what is it that they did in order to be successful. I always like using Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown is a big one. She started in 2020, and here she is 5 years later. 5 years later, she has her own cooking line in Target. She was able to retire her husband. She's been showing up in different shows, right? So if you're in here and you're like, I need it, that's what I want. I want to be able to make an impact on a larger scale. Then join us in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. Click the second link in my bio and grab your VIP experience ticket, right? Because in the VIP experience, we can show you how to make an impact through your content, how people get to watch your videos and tell you how you've changed their life, how they get to join your program and you actually get to help them. Yeah, Brittany Nicole says, my goal is to help 100 women this month. So 100 women this month. Brittany, what are you doing to reach that goal? Brittany says, yes, Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain so that those on the run can read it. And oftentimes we don't realize that we're the ones on the run. Okay? You got to be able to read your vision that you wrote down while you're running your business, running your family, managing this, managing that. You're the one who's on the run. If you can't see the vision, if you haven't written it down, it's going to be really hard to accomplish. Really, really hard to accomplish, right? So if you're in here and you're like, yeah, I'm tired of playing small. I'm tired of settling for crumbs. I know that God is calling me higher. I know that I should be going to the next level, but something inside of you is keeping you stuck. Something inside of you is like, oh, I don't know. I feel uncomfortable, and you're not ready to step into the discomfort. Something inside of you is keeping you small. Like, I'm afraid right now to actually go live. I'm afraid to actually post the videos, right? I actually want to share with you the second S. The second S is silence the inner critic. Silence the inner critic. So for some of you, I asked you, what was your biggest struggle when it comes to social media marketing? We said A, content creation, B, content conversion, or C, you being consistent. That's where consistency comes in. But you have to first silence the inner critic, right? Some of you are not being consistent because you have a story that you're telling yourself over and over again, and it may be that this just doesn't work for me. Some of you are skeptical that other people can get the results, but not your business. Your business is so different that it's not going to work on social media. And you got to turn off that record. It's coming from someplace, because that's not the first time you've told yourself that. You've told yourself that even when you were a child. You wanted to do something. You were like, oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And if you keep operating in that, you won't show up. You won't show up. Or you'll show up here and there, but you won't show up consistently enough to bless your audience. And let me tell you, consistency is what your audience is missing. I want you to think about your content like it's starting a conversation. And each time you post, you're continuing the conversation. But imagine now that you're starting the conversation and then you stop posting for a couple of months, and then you start the conversation again, then you stop posting for another couple of months. What's going to happen? You can't build relationship. You can't build relationship. Because every time, and I see there's some of you who are following me, and I go to your page to engage with your content. You haven't posted since January. And prior to that, you haven't posted since November. And yeah, I understand that life keeps lifing, but at some point, you got to silence the inner critic. What is really holding you back from actually consistently posting the content that's going to reach your audience? Yeah, Brittany said that used to be me, starting and stopping. Happy that it's not anymore, right? For some of you, it's not consistency. Some of you, it's a fear of judgment. Some of you, it's a fear of sounding salesy. Like some of you, your audience is already primed. They're ready to buy. But because you have a fear of sounding salesy, guess what? You're not actually selling to them. You're not making them an offer. And when you do, it's something that you just glance over. Okay, well, here's how you can work with me. That's it. Give them the invite. Give them the invitation. But in order for you to do that, you got to get out of your own way. You got to get out of your head. You keep thinking that people are judging you, judging the way you look, judging your backgrounds. Some of you are afraid of getting bad comments. That's why you're not fully going into this. Some of you are judging yourselves. I have one client. She's amazing. She's phenomenal when she's on the stages, when she's in person. But in her mind, when she gets on video, she's like, oh, I just feel so icky selling. And she's a master salesperson. And she's not the only one. There are so many successful business owners where they're great selling one-to-one. But when it comes to selling on camera, it's like, oh, I just feel weird about it. But we got to get out of our own way, because the question is, who are you not helping because you're not showing up? Who suffers because you're not showing up? And what do I mean by this? I remember when I was starting my business, I didn't want to start my business. I really didn't. Honestly, I had a dream to become the CEO of NBC, and that was it. That was my dream. But God told me, stop dreaming too small, dream bigger. In my mind, I'm like, NBC is big, okay? But when he told me to quit my job and he told me to start my business, I remember just feeling like, I don't really want to do this, right? Quanda says, my dream was BET. See, But God told us stop dreaming too small. I don't know. To God, that's small. To me, I'm like, that was big to me. I thought I was reaching, right? And so, Quanda, me and you gonna take over this media industry. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We are totally taking over this media industry. So when I started my business, I didn't want to do it because I didn't have confidence in myself. Here I was, this TV producer who I felt like my career failed. That's where I was like, my career failed, right? I didn't get to where I wanted to be. And God's like, okay, now go teach content to my people. And I'm just like, no, I'm not good enough to do it. But guess what? Had I not shown up, Marianne would have gotten 60,000 leads from one video. Christina would have grown her platform to 40,000 followers and beyond and know how to sell to her audience consistently to be booked up for 2 months. Olivia wouldn't have gotten free from depression. I'm blanking on her name. I'm just going to call her Sheila right now because I can't remember her name right now. But Sheila wouldn't have learned how to edit videos in her 50s. That's impact. And let me tell you, every person who have worked with me, have gone through my program, they didn't just transform and get leads and get sales. In here transformed. In here transformed. They actually recognize, wait a second, all I got to do is get on videos, talk to my audience, and they will buy. That's a whole different mindset. That's a whole skill set that they learned. But it didn't just stop there. Because Christina, when she started showing up for her audience, she started getting testimonials of people saying to her, I have been looking for you all my life. I am so grateful. And she will text me the testimonials. Till this day, she's not even working with me anymore. She still texts me the testimonials and says, thank you so much. That's impact. It doesn't just stop with you. You're helping people. And those people that you're helping are going out to help more people. And it becomes a chain reaction. Here's the reality. We hear sayings like this all the time. Hurt people, hurt people. In my ministry, we teach you that healed people heal people. Free people free people. And loved people love people. That's all that this is. So when you don't show up, guess what? Someone suffers. And I know for me, I didn't want to pay that cost. Nope. I did not want to pay that cost. I said, I'm going to show up anyway, because I know that I'm going to be a blessing and someone else is going to be blessed. So my question to you is, are you going to keep allowing yourself to play small? Are you going to keep allowing yourself to be inconsistent? Are you going to keep allowing fear to destroy your life? There are some of you, there's a message, there's a story in you that's supposed to come out. It should have already been birthed in this world, but you're allowing fear to stop you from doing that. Are you willing to pay that cost? The people who are already ready to buy from you, are you willing to pay the cost that you're never able to help them, that they will not get help from you? Because if you are, you might as well sign up from this live now. But if you're in here and you're like, no, I don't want to pay that cost. I actually do want to show up. I do want to help. Now, here's the thing. Some of you are already showing up in your business. So you're like, nope, my message has already been birthed. But you're being disobedient because you're supposed to be reaching more people in this season. You're supposed to be on bigger stages in this season. Your platform is supposed to be bigger than what it is right now. But because you're playing small, because of fear, you're not reaching as much people you're supposed to. So if you're in here and you're like, I'm going to stop playing small. I'm ready to reach my people. Now is the time. Join us in the VIP experience. In the VIP experience, we help you to get unstuck from your head so that when you show up on camera, you're a blessing. This is something that not a lot of people talk about, but your audience is attached to your voice. They're attached to your voice. They come when they hear you speaking. How do I know? Because Jesus said it. Jesus said, my sheep know my voice, and another they will not follow. You're out here thinking to yourself, well, someone else does what I do. They do it better than me. Let them help. Only problem is there are people attached to your voice in this season, and they're not going to get set free until you work with them. You keep thinking they're going to go someplace else. They're not. They're looking for you because you are the answer to their solution. But if you keep hiding, they stay stuck. They stay stuck. So if you're like, I'm ready to come out of hiding, I'm ready to help, I'm ready to show up and be seen, not just to get paid more, but to make a bigger impact, then go ahead and join us in the VIP experience for the challenge. Click the second link in my bio so we can show you how. Because now is your season and you can keep delaying all you want. But all you're going to be doing is walking in circles like the children of Israel did when they were in the wilderness. They walked in circles for 40 years because they were playing small. And some of you, you are reliving the same business cycle. You are stuck at 8 to 10K months. You are stuck at 20 to 30K months. It don't matter what you do. You can't seem to scale because you are being disobedient and not going to the next level in your business, which is expanding your reach to reach more people. So if that resonated with you and you're like, come on now, you talking to me. Second link in my bio, VIP experience, so we can help you. The challenge starts May 11th to May 15th. But prior to the challenge, once you join us today, you get access to some bonuses so you can be prepared for the challenge. That's our goal. Our goal is that you can get started right now with creating the content. What is the content that your audience needs to see from you to get them to follow and buy from you? What is the content that you need to put out that's going to get your audience to feel connected to you? That's what we help you with. All right, I saw Athena pop in here. Hey, Athena. Hey, excuse me. Oh, thanks for joining us from Nepal. Yes, Ebony says, preach. She says, I feel the same way about credit repair. I don't want to do it. Ebony, I don't think any of us wanted to do this. I mean, there are some people where they feel super excited about starting their business. And then there's the rest of us who are like, can I do anything else? Anything else? But God's like, this is where I've called you. Go ahead and do it. All right. So we're about to wrap up. Let's get to our third S. So we're talking about how to build a loyal and buying online community. I did a poll. I asked you to drop A, B, or C in the chat if you were struggling with A, content creation, B, content conversion, or C, being consistent, right? And I gave you 2 things so far to help with that. I want to give you this third one. And this third one is super important because if you're not doing this in your content, guess what? People aren't going to buy. They're just not. If you're only doing educational content, they're not going to buy. If you're only putting out inspirational content, they're not going to buy. So something that you want to include in your content is strategic storytelling, or like I like to teach my audience, story selling secrets. If you don't know how to do story selling in your content, it's over. They're not going to buy, right? And so I got this from Jesus again. Every time Jesus showed up and he was teaching his audience, the one thing that he did was he told parables. Why? Because he knew that if he told parables, it will help his audience to relate. Some of you have the credibility. Some of you have the authority, but you don't have the relatability. And that is the reason why you are putting out the content, but it's stuck at a certain amount of views. You're putting out the content and you're only getting a couple of comments, and one of them is from your best friend who just wants to support you. And your content is not reaching the people that it should be reaching. And that's because you're not telling strategic stories, right? So I want you all to think about this. How many of you like watching commercials? I'm raising my hand because I do. Some of you are like, I can't stand ads. I can't stand poor ads, right? But really executed commercials, I could watch. So one commercial that I like watching, I don't care where I'm at. If it pops up on the TV, I'm going to watch it. Oh, my daddy Proverbs says me. Okay, so maybe it's just you and I. But there are some of you during Super Bowl, you're like, I like watching those Super Bowl commercials, right? Brittany says, ooh, harsh, not the best. Oh, yeah, that it's true. It's true. I see it all the time, right? Some of you like watching Super Bowl commercials, right? During the Super Bowl, they pour a lot of money, a lot of entertainment. They pour everything into those Super Bowl commercials. They do it on purpose, right? So commercials, what they do is they're telling a story. They are not just putting out videos that's like educating you on stuff. They're telling a story. Now, here's the thing. Your video content on social media, guess what they are? Hey, Jennifer, how you doing? Hey, Ariel. Your video content on social media, guess what they are? The short form content, guess what they are? They are commercials that represent your brand. So your reels, your TikToks, your short form on LinkedIn, your short form on YouTube, these are commercials that represent your brand. That's what they are. So if people are watching your commercials and they're not converting, guess what? You're missing this major element, which is telling stories. So I want to give an example. Progressive commercials. I love me some Flo. And every time she show up, I want to stop to see what's happening in her life next. Even State Farm have done it. They got Dave from State Farm. You remember back in the day, back in my day, Dave from State Farm, we never used to hear him speak and we didn't know what he looked like. And then that 1 year, they hired the black guy. And to this day, Dave from State Farm is still black. And I'm like, we were all waiting for that reveal, right? So they're telling stories in their commercials. And because they're telling stories, we can relate to it. So how can you tell stories that your audience can relate to in your content? Not just giving out educational content, not just doing behind the scenes, not just doing vlogging, because I see you. I see some of you doing vlogging and your vlogs are falling flat. Leave the vlogs for the influencers, right? But tell stories that your audience can actually relate to. When I opened up this live, I told a story about me interviewing at a TV company, right? And not getting the job. And some of you were like, yeah, I can relate to that. I also, part of the story, I told the part of the story where I was told to do everything and I did everything right. I got the good grades in high school. I went to college. When I graduated from college, I couldn't find a job. Even though society told me if you go to college, you'll be able to find a job. And a lot of you were able to relate to that. So what stories can you tell in your content that will actually get your audience to relate to you? So that when they're consuming your information, they can consume it in story form, right? So here's what the stories do. The stories help to build relationship. It helps to captivate your audience and it keeps them watching longer. And let me tell you right now, watch time is extremely important. Watch time is extremely important no matter what platform. Every platform now has a metric of how long people are watching your videos, because the longer they watch your content, the more the platform will push it out. So no more is it, just put out a 7 to 10 second video. No. Now it's putting out longer content that's going to get people to watch your videos longer. And you can do that by telling stories, right? And so I had a former client, her name is Ashley. She was able to do this in her content. And when she first started working with me, what she wanted to do was grow her following so that she can be able to make sales in her business. So she's a relationship coach. She helps women who are single do love right by waiting for God, waiting on him for marriage, right? And so in order for her to do that, she had to build interest in what it was that she was selling. She told stories. She told this one story about how she was a virgin. She still is. She's still a virgin for many days or years. I forgot how many days she put. It probably was like 1 point something million days or something like that, but it equaled her age. And she told the story of remaining a virgin, waiting on God, but then also appealing to those people who wanted to wait on God, but who their virginity was stolen from them, where they went through something horrific in their sexuality. And guess what happened? Her video went viral on Instagram and TikTok. They went viral on Instagram and TikTok. And every time she told stories like this, people kept following her. She kept pulling in the crowds because she was able to master storytelling in her content. Now, here's the thing. It's not enough to just tell the story. You want to tell the story, but you also want your audience to convert. If they are not converting, that means you didn't tell the story in a way that it will sell, right? So that's the goal. Now, some of you, you're great storytellers. The problem is the stories you're telling isn't selling. Well, that was good. The stories you're telling isn't selling. The stories you're telling isn't selling. Okay, I'm going to drop that one next. That's another single I'm going to drop, right? So how can you shift where now the stories you tell will actually sell? That's what we show you inside the challenge. On day 2 of the challenge, we actually show you how to tell stories using the power method that's going to relate to your audience and also get them to buy. Here's the thing what great content does. Great content does 3 things. It pre-sells your audience, it primes your audience, and it persuades your audience, right? So your content should be pre-selling your audience. It means that it's already doing the work for you so that by the time they come to you, they're already ready to buy. Okay. The next thing, it primes them. That means that it's continuously nurturing them so that when they are watching your content, they feel like they have a relationship with you. That's where the storytelling comes in, where it's priming your audience. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. See, Jennifer is on board. Y'all was not giving me no credit for that song on TikTok. Y'all, okay? Thank you, Jennifer. She knew exactly what time it was. All right. And then the last one, it persuades your audience. It means that it helps them to make a buying decision. There are some of you where you're trying to convince your audience. You're pushing, you're pulling, and that's why it feels icky when you're selling. When it comes to persuading, they've already made the decision. They already know that this is what they want. You're just letting them know it's with you. That's it. So pre-sales primes and persuades your audience, and you can do that with strategic storytelling, right? Okay. So I have another example, but let me just see. Yes. Yep. I have another example. And it's actually with Jasmine. When Jasmine, before she started working with us, right? She's an artist. She sells high-end paintings, so high-ticket paintings, right? And she's already great at telling stories. Her biggest thing was, how do I tell the stories that's going to get people to buy from me now? And so we showed her what she needed to do, what she needed to shift in her storytelling. And guess what happened? She told me, Star, I now know what content to post is going to grow my following, what content to post is going to build my engagement, and what content to post is going to get me sales. That's what she said to me. And so every time she posts her content and she tells a particular story, she gets engagement. And every time she posts her content and she tells a particular story, she gets sales. How many of you in here, you're like, that's what I want? I want that. I know exactly what to post to get the sales. I know exactly what to post to get the engagement. I know exactly what to post to get the followers. Just drop a me in the chat if that's you, right? Drop a me in the chat if you're like, that's exactly what I want. Because social media doesn't have to be hard. It just takes strategy and then knowing what to post. So if you're like, that's me, that's what I want, drop a me in the chat so I know that you're still here and that's going to work for you, right? Okay. So who the challenge is for? Because as I said before, in the challenge is what we help you to do. So you're not guessing at what to post. You're not guessing at what to do, but instead you're actually putting out the content that reaches your audience. The challenge is for the coach where you're already at 6 figures and you already have an audience, but you're not sure how to convert them into customers. So you're putting out the content, Each time you put out your content, people are like, hey, we love your content, but how do you get them to convert into buyers? That's what we show you in the challenge. The challenge is also for the business owner where you're stuck between 8 to 10K months and you want to know, how can I scale to the next level? How can I get to 20K months? How can I get to 30K months? Right? But your biggest problem, though, is that you're hesitating to sell in your videos, right? So how can we help you sell in your videos without sounding salesy or feeling icky? That's what we want to show you. And then the challenge is also for the successful business owner or coach where sales isn't an issue for you. You don't have a problem selling. You're getting sales through word of mouth. You're getting sales through referrals, right? Your issue is a visibility issue. Not enough people are seeing you. So you're not getting invited to the bigger stages. You're not getting invited to the high profile podcast, but you want to be because you know that's where you're being called to, right? And so we show you how you can do that, how you can increase your visibility online with your content, how you can show your expertise in your videos without hopping on trends, without dancing and lip syncing, right? Some of you are like, do I have to do that? I have a client right now where she worked with someone who told her that's what you have to do. And it completely turned her off. It turned her off from social media for a while. And I said to her, you do not have to do that. When we're working with you, we show you how to show up authentically for your audience so that they actually want to work with you. They're going to work with you based on your personality and your authenticity, right? So if you're in here and you're like, that's exactly what I want. I want to be able to create content that's authentic to my personality. I want to be able to create content where I'm no longer in a cage. Some of you feel like you're in a cage because you're following this guru, that guru, that guru, that guru. Whatever they teach works for them, but it's not working for you. Some of you are in programs right now. You're in monthly memberships. You're in coaching programs where you can't even grasp the information because they're going too fast or the program is too big and you're falling behind in the background. In the challenge is very intimate. We have about 10 to 15 people who typically join us in a challenge so that you can be able to get the attention that you need on your business. We get to dive deep into what is it that's holding you back from actually showing up. What is the story you're telling yourself so that you're not selling, so that you feel awkward when you're selling? We want to break that story off of you so that now when you show up, people can see your beautiful personality, they can see your authenticity, and they understand exactly how you help them. That's what we help you with in the challenge, right? Now, here's the thing. We have a secret sauce in the challenge. As much as we like teaching you sales and marketing, our secret sauce is Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit. Because he's the one who told you to start that business. So he's the one who's providing the provision. So if you're in here, you're like, that's what I need. That's the difference of what I need in a program. Then click the second link in my bio. Join us for the VIP experience. Or you can feel free to DM me the word challenge accepted. And I will personally send you an invite to the challenge. Right? Okay. So I want to go through the 5 P's to prosperity and then we'll just sign off. But in the challenge, we teach you the 5 P's to prosperity on social media. So this is what some of you are missing, but this is what we get to show you. On day 1, we show you how to position your brand like Jesus did. When Jesus was showing up, he was not going door to door. He was positioning himself in each town and he will call the people to him. So some of you are on multiple platforms and you're looking for your dream clients. You're like chasing after them. Stop doing that because they're looking for you, you're looking for them, and you're missing them. But if you position yourself and call them to you, they will come. Day 2, we show you how to package your message in videos with storytelling so that now they're relating to you. Each time you put out the videos, they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense to me. I also went through that. Day 3, we show you how to produce a 6-figure content strategy. Because the goal isn't for you to stay where you're at now. The goal is for you to have a system that is working for you so that you're hitting 6 figures, multiple 6 figures in your business. Day 4, we show you how to present your offer. So that's how to sell in your videos without sounding salesy, without feeling awkward or icky. And then day 5, how to profit from your videos. So how to create predictable income every month. So that every month, you know, I'm going to make this much money because I'm putting out this content. It's reaching this people. It's bringing in this many leads. That's what we show you in the challenge. So again, we got 2 levels. I haven't shared this. We got 2 levels. VIP experience, which is our number 1 seller. And then we also have the diamond experience. In the diamond experience, the first 5 people to sign up, you actually get a free what do we call it? A free diamond content strategy session with us, right? Oh, excuse me. It's elite. A free elite content strategy session with me where we actually get to go over your messaging and your dream customer, right? So that's actually the second experience in the challenge. So for some of you, you're like, I'm good with the VIP experience. For some of you, you're like, I want to try the diamond experience. You can go ahead and select that by clicking the first link in my bio, and you'll actually see both the experiences. All right. So I will be back again next Tuesday. We're talking about how to post on social media without creating more content. So next Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern, how to post on social media without creating more content. See you then.